Thank you for dancing.
So wonderful to have everybody here today, just to be present, and thank you for what a beautiful sound and present. So we're actually playing for the whole neighborhood now, so it's great. So good to be a part of things in here. We like to begin with our vision and mission statement. I know that, How are you guys? Long time. Why I lose my track of thought here. Vision and mission, right? As I should be focused on that, right? So we don't have a screen here for you to watch it, but we do, hopefully, by now you know what our vision and mission is. So the Napa Valley Center for Spiritual Living, our vision is we are an inclusive community for spiritual growth and compassionate action. And our mission statement, we are co-creating a world that works for everyone by living intentionally, loving unconditionally, and seeing God in all people and all faiths. You guys did good. Give yourself a round of applause. So good to be here present with you. If this happens to be your first time with us or first time in a while, we welcome you and so glad that you are part of the service this morning. If you haven't figured out, we're having a concert afterwards. That's why we're outdoors today. So feel free to stay, be present for the service and stay for the concert as well. We'll have some snacks that are available to you to kind of sustain your energy for the concert we have, because I think it'll be, I know it will be wonderful today. So we're excited to have that today. We do have a few announcements I want to let you know about before we begin our service. The first one, and maybe the most important one we have today, I always say our announcements are important, but there's ones that are just critical. And the first one and most important one is on October 23rd, just a few weeks from now. We're going to have our 50th anniversary celebration and donor appreciation. Now, to let you know, we changed things a little bit because what we decided the most important thing about this event is gathering together and being together and being able to celebrate. And also for those who still don't feel comfortable or not able to be with us for whatever reason, we wanted to provide a virtual experience also. So we've decided not to do a dinner this year because that's just, with the COVID concerns and things like that, we just want to be able to be fully present with each other, and what's most important is gathering. But we will gather here in this courtyard at 4 o'clock, and we'll have refreshments and appetizers and just kind of mingle a little bit. Then we'll go, depending on the weather, we might go inside, but we'll probably just stay outside for our program outside. And we have some special musician. First of all, Karen Drucker is going to be our musician. And then we have special speakers. I will be delivering the program, but probably more importantly, more exciting, you see me all the time, is Reverend Janet Garvey-Stanvik will be here, and Diego Garcia. So both of them will be here to give their reflections on our history. Both of them were here for 15 and 17 years, so they have quite a bit of the history they have here. One thing I love about the center is how stable we've been when we look at the history of our ministers. Over the 50 years we've been here, 3 of the ministers have been here for a total of 41 of those years. So we've had a lot. So 2 ministers for 17, and I'm starting on my 8th year now. So I think that has added a lot to the growth and the stability that people know what to expect here. So I think there's a lot to celebrate. We're going to put a timeline inside the sanctuary that we're real excited about, and you can add your piece of when you first came here, or your experience, or of a certain event that we have there, and you can write little notes on it and whatever you want to do. So an interactive timeline as well as videos that will be showing, so we're excited about that. So hope you can be there. So October 23rd at 4 p.m. We just need to have a general number of how many people will be here, so we're asking that you sign up today if you know you're going to be there or you think you're going to be there, and then or during the week you can just email Mary at office@nvcsl.com. So not a complicated registration form, but one that we want to just have a general number there that we can be a part of. So the other thing is Crush MS. This is a usual event that we support. The founders, Kevin Reed and Julie Hare, are members of our community, and we are, but usually this time of the year we are we have like 40 volunteers from this community helping out in that event, and they're doing it virtually this year just with COVID concerns and things. So we still want to support it. And Julie and Kevin made a video. And what we're going to do is we're going to play the video. You'll be able to hear it, not see it, but we'll post it online later for you to see. But the main thing is there's a silent auction going on right now and a live auction that happens this coming Saturday on the 8th. So listen to their video.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kevin.
Hi, I'm Julie.
And we are longtime members of the center, and we wanted to just put a little message out there, making sure that you knew that you're invited to this year's Crush MS. The center has been so integral in the success of Crush MS over the years. This year we're doing it online only, but we want to make sure you know that you're invited, and I just wanted to connect with you guys because we haven't seen you in a long time.
It has been a long time, but I remember all of your faces, and I remember, lots of nice experience at the center.
So we're just so appreciative of all of your past support, and I wanted to make sure that you knew it's happening this year, but we're doing it online only. Next year, we're hoping to do it in person again, but we're going to do it this year and hopefully reach a lot of people to raise funds and new awareness for a world free of MS. We will donate all of our proceeds to MS research and programs that help people live well with MS. So as always, we appreciate your support. Check us out. Our event is October 8th. It's online only. You've got to sign up in advance. So head over to crushms.org and you can sign up at that website. And there's going to be a silent auction starting October 1st. And then it's going to be online for a week. And then on October 8th, we're going to have a live auction and an event. And the whole thing is going to be done, but it's going to be a really fun time. So please, you're invited to check us out, check it out. And we're hoping to, have another successful event this year.
And hopefully see you in person next year.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot.
In person next year.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot.
So that was Julie here and Kevin Reed, the co-founders of it, both who are challenged with MS themselves. And so we have wanted to support that because they're part of our community. And so I appreciate you considering that. Crushms.org, you can sign up. And, you're not obligated to buy anything. There's no charge. So you can just look at the silent auction items and the live auction on the 8th. So something to consider. This is an even month, and every even month we do the green bags. We're restarting that, re-kicking it off. I know it's in somewhere in the back of your brain, you remember something about green bags. So Dana, you want to hold up your green bag there? So, the green bags that we fill up and bring back, and you can either bring it back during this week. Mary and I'll be here in the office. You can bring it by or bring it on Sunday, either way, and then we'll be able to get those over to the food bank that we always do. Have we been doing this for like 3 years? Going on the 5th year, and just this center has over a ton of food that we have brought in, and citywide, countywide, hundreds of tons of food that has gone to the food bank. So it's a great program that Napa Can Do has sponsored, and we're partnering with them. So if you're so inclined, pick up a green bag. If you don't already have one, fill it up, non-perishable items, bring it back, and we'll get it over to the food bank for you. So anything to add? All right. And then this is the last week to sign for the Inner Journey. If you're interested in that, qualifies for the first year practitioner class. You have to have at least taken a class or two of the certified classes to become a practitioner. There's more later on, but we'll worry about that later. We're just trying to get this started. So far we have 9 people signed up. So we're looking for a couple more. If you're interested, see me, or there's a link online that you can sign up for under classes and events. Peace Poll is making its way around now. It's over at Nicole Turner's house now. So if you're interested in having the tour of the Peace Poll come to your yard, there's a sign up for it online, or talk to me about it and I'll tell you more about it. It's part of a fundraiser, so there's a optional donation, but we requested one, and so if you want to know more information, let us know about it. And then we have our continuing ongoing events, meditation both in English and Spanish on Wednesday evenings, 6:30 for English. For more information about the Spanish one, contact Mary or Imelda. All that information is online. Tuesday nights, Course in Miracles. Of course, Sunday service is here in English every Sunday, but second and fourth one is in Spanish at 12:30. There's a Dharma recovery group Sunday evenings at 7 p.m., as well as a study group that's earlier in the day at 5. So all of that information is online, and we're doing a lot of exciting things here at the center, like always. So let's go ahead and begin with a regular part of our service. I'll give it back to you.
The song's by Yogananda. You all know Yogananda? He is hysterical. He just rocked, and he was such a person of God.
I am the sky, mother, I am the sky. I am the sky, mother, I am the sky. I am the vast blue ocean of sky. I am a little drop of the sky, frozen sky. Frozen sky. I am the sky, mother, I am the sky. I am the sky, mother, I am the sky. I am the vast blue ocean of sky. I am a little drop of the sky, frozen sky. Mother, I am the sky. I am the sky, mother, I am the sky. I am the vast blue ocean of sky. I am a little drop of the sky, frozen sky. Frozen sky.
Well, I'm blessed to be here today speaking to you about the wisdom of all faiths, and particularly we are honoring the Jewish tradition today. And I come from a Jewish background. I was born and baptized a Catholic, and they say once you do that, you're always a Catholic. But then I fell in love with a Jewish man. And so my first husband was Jewish, and he took me to the synagogue. And I'll never forget that first experience. I was so enamored with the holiness and the ancientness of the sounds that I heard, and the music that was sung, and the words that were spoken. And I just knew I felt at home there. So I studied, and I went to the mikveh, which is a kind of a baptismal thing. And I wouldn't be surprised to know that when Jesus was baptized, he might have been at the mikveh himself. We don't know that, but it's the same kind of thing, because you're washing away and you're cleansing yourself before God and expressing your wholeness to God. And I still remember the fabulous prayer that speaks volumes everywhere, and that is, Shema Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. And I know for a fact now that I am a religious scientist that God really doesn't mind how you choose to honor God. In fact, God is just happy that you acknowledge God. And so whatever language or whatever venue you choose to honor and do so, it's honoring life. It's honoring all. And I have some notes from Rabbi Sachs, who said that prayer is actually a spiritual exercise. It's physical and mental and health help generations of your soul, yourself, and your community. And so when we come together as a community and we pray, we are actually experiencing God in the wholeness of who God is and who we are. And I know that Judaism is not just a religion, it's a way of life. And so for all of us believers of God, it's a way of life. And so wherever you are on your path, I know that God is with you and blesses you. And so I give thanks for this. And let's do a moment of meditation. And so I give thanks for this blessed day and know that God is everywhere present for all of his people. For we are one people and we have one God. And this I know, and we are blessed, and so it is.
Thank you for that.
We really love the theme today about community. This is a song we wrote a long time ago about that.
Come
receive your light. I give to you on the left of me, receiving from the right. Oh, I give to you from the heart of me, and I receive your love. I give from my heart. I give from my heart. I give from my heart. We are the New World family. Come on and share this earth with me. We are the New World family. Come on, share this earth with me. Share this earth with me. Oh, this is good. Come share this earth with me. That's right, we learned to share. Come share this earth with me. Woo! Share the earth. Share this earth with me.
You hand? Okay. That's a big step there, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And I'm very delicate.
You are. Let me see if this. Well, so good to gather today with everybody. Take my disguise glasses off there. This community that we're celebrating is powerful, it's beautiful, and it's a divine expression. It's interesting because the Centers for Spiritual Living, part of our denomination, they have conventions every year and they give awards for different things, individual and teams and different things. Well, they give a community award. And I was thinking how beautiful our expression is lately, you know, with the Sip and Savor and all the work we did with the unbottled fundraiser we had to benefit nonprofits, the green bag that we program we do, and just our individual expression of the services that we've done this year. I just felt really proud of this community. And so I went ahead and nominated us for this award. I have no idea whether we'll get it or not. But part of me, as soon as I filled that, I go, well, we deserve this award. Then I'm going, oh, really? And then my higher voice said, you know that individual ego and community ego are both ego. So I just let that deserve part go. And whether we get the award or not, we are doing amazing work. We have something to celebrate for this year, for the last 5 years, for the last 50 years. And to remind you, we've actually been teaching the science of mind and studying the science of mind in this valley for 60 years because it started as a study group over here near Coles, kind of where the 9/11 Memorial Garden is now. Brown Street used to go all the way through there before they closed it off and made it a walking mall. And the building is there where we started our first. So it's interesting that there, and then we went to 4 or 5 other locations here in the city, but we're back here along the creek. And we've been here for 16 years now. So it's wonderful to be in this place here that we are and to celebrate all that we're doing. The power that we are. I know that the hotels that are around maybe are encroaching on us a little bit. When I first moved here 7 years ago, this was kind of the dead part. It wasn't as active business-wise. There were some closed stores and things like that. And suddenly we are the hot spot now. New stores coming in, and so it's fun to be part of that, and it's fun to be connected with this. But more importantly, what this center is that we have become a place for people to, a sanctuary for people, a place to come and feel peace and feel connected with Spirit and to renew themselves, remember what being a divine being is, and anchors in their truth. And then they go out in the world and practice these truths. And not only do their lives change, but the lives of those around them change. And this is what we continue to do. We did it from year one, 60 years ago, and we're still doing it today, that we're teaching these basic spiritual principles that remind us of who we are, and in that memory we go out into the world and practice them. I think it's fitting October has traditionally been our prosperity month, the month where we talk about the spiritual principles that affirm our abundance and our prosperity and how we can become even more prosperous. But what a great month to also celebrate the prosperity and abundance of this center over the years. That we have continued to thrive and excel in ways of this teaching and this life that we live. And part of these principles that I talk about, I thought this month I would take a different slant on it. And that is begin to talk about these ancient communities that practice this abundance, practice prosperity. They wouldn't necessarily call them spiritual principles. They would call it just living, because they were so connected to the earth and aware of a natural and intuitive way to respond to a higher being. And a lot of that basic ways of living, those spiritual principles that they live by, have been forgotten or rarely practiced because of the Western emphasis on accumulation and individuality. Because in fact, there was a time in these ancient cultures that community was everything, and they did together. They prayed together, they connected together, they shared their resources, and it was about everybody being prosperous, not about one person or a group of people being prosperous. And so it's this way that I'd like to go back to and remember to rediscover these principles of community and prosperity and peace that were a natural part. As I said, there wasn't a mental thought for them. It was more about living in alignment, living in connection with the planet, with the earth, with other people, and within themselves, to get their own alignment in the space that they do. What I know about this way of living, I often talk about the masculine and feminine energies. And of course, we all have masculine and feminine energies. But the masculine energy is the one that forges ahead without concern of people all the time. And this is the pathway of individuality and accumulation, where the feminine energy is one of making sure everybody is included, making sure the community aspect of things. I often use this metaphor about a hike. I'm a hiker. I grew up hiking. I've hiked all my life. And I have led many hikes of youth, of other adults. And I have been both a lead in a hike and the last person in the hike. The first person is the way shower. They're the map. They look at the maps. They make sure we're going the right directions. They chart it to make sure we're going there. And they usually tend to be ahead of everybody else by quite a distance, because they'll get to a point and re-get their bearings to make sure when everybody catches up that we're still going the right direction. A very important leader. Also, the leader in the back of the hike is important. They're the ones that make sure everybody makes it. Picks up anybody who's struggling or hurt or whatever's going on, or just wants to talk more than they want to hike. The best stories are at the tail end of a hike. Just to share stories, and you get to know people more that way. You're less concerned about what's ahead. When I'm the leader, I'm pretty focused on that because I feel the responsibility to make sure we're going the right direction. And I've made some mistakes at the lead. I like both leadership, and it's the masculine that leads us. It's the feminine to make sure we all get there. And we need both the masculine and the feminine. An African proverb says, if you want to go quickly, go alone. if you want to go far, go together. And Helen Keller echoes that, and she says, alone we can do so little, together we can do so much. So it's the whole community we have, but the importance of this masculine and feminine. There was a lady named Adelaide Hoodless, who was a Canadian advocate for women's education in the early 1900s, so quite a long time ago. And her quote was, educate a boy and you educate an individual, educate a girl and you educate a community. So she's broken it down to boys and girls because that was her advocacy, but the truth is we want to educate, we want to speak to the whole person that is masculine and feminine, and we want to both find that balance within us, find the revelations and the enlightenment within, and we also want to do that as a community to bring forth, because what I believe and what I've experienced is together as a community we can do more in consciousness than we can individually as well. This group consciousness, knowing peace, knowing joy, knowing a healing happening. Now, I mean, it's when the practitioners gather together every Tuesday. We're knowing peace or healing or whatever somebody's prayer request together, and it's that group consciousness. We do it on Sundays. We pray together. Diana led us this morning in prayer that we are connected together. This is a power of the community that's so important. And so today I wanted to talk about communities that pray together, prosper together. And particularly I want to focus on the Jewish communities today, because their recorded histories of a faith community is over 4,000 years. And that's just the recorded history. I'm sure there were communities before that, but they were founded on basic principles that led them to connect deeper and go deeper in that way. So first of all, just curiosity, how many people affiliate either through DNA or through friendship or marriage or family some way with the Jewish culture, the Jewish community? That's what I thought. It is fairly common. I have, and I'll tell you more about that later, but 10% of my DNA is of Eastern European Jew. Not much, but we have stories. So, that's the great thing about the Jewish culture is they make sure their stories told. Like, most of my history is about, 100 pages that I have of genealogy, and 10 of those pages are the Jewish people that, so it's great. So, but if you look at the Bible, the beginnings of Abraham and the story of the Jewish people, it's a fascinating story. So Abraham had a personal relationship with the divine, with God, with Yahweh. And Yahweh promised him, gave him a vision for a land of milk and honey. Now, I don't think Abraham or anybody else at the time expected a land that actually flowed with milk and honey, but it was a vision. It was a metaphor for a land that was prosperous and abundant. So he settled in an area known as Canaan then, which now we know as Israel. And he had 2 children, interesting enough, one Ishmael and Isaac. And Ishmael was the child of his maidservant, Hagar, and Isaac was the son of his wife, Rachel, who they thought she couldn't have children. And although Ishmael was the firstborn, Isaac tricked Abraham in his late years where he couldn't see, tricked him into giving him the divine blessing, the blessing of inheritance, so that although he was the secondborn, he received the inheritance. And it started the whole, or continued perhaps, some of the conflict that we see or hear about in the Middle East now, because Ishmael went on to be the ancestors of the Arabic world and Muslims, and Isaac went on to be the ancestor of Jewish people. So there was already a disagreement about who the sacred land of Israel belonged to then. This was 4,000 years ago. But Isaac went on to have 12 children, which the 12 tribes were formed out of that. And one of those tribes was Jacob, who had a son named Joseph. And Joseph was his most favored son, but his other 11 siblings were jealous of him, so they sold Joseph into slavery, thought they'd never see him again. Well, Joseph is a resilient one. He ended up in jail, but then became an interpreter for dreams of a Pharaoh and rose to a position of power. And when a famine hit the other countries, his brothers and sisters came to Egypt in order to ask for help during the famine, and he ended up forgiving them and helping them. So this is part of the crazy story. And then so they flourished in Egypt, and the Pharaoh there was concerned about their size growing in numbers and their power. So a couple things he did. He made an edict that the firstborn child would be killed in all the Jewish families. And so the mother of who we know now as Moses put him as a baby in a little basket and put him in the river. And he was found by an Egyptian princess, and he was raised as an Egyptian royal family. So, how does this happen, And then the Pharaoh enslaved most of the Jews, and Moses ended up freeing all of them, so took them back to the promised land, back to the land of milk and honey that they were promised. So this is a story, this amazing story of grace. Now, the Jewish people then believed that they were the chosen people. They were the favored ones. We now believe that we're all chosen, that we're all favored, but we need to come into alignment. So let me talk a little bit more about this idea, about what we can learn about them. But I will also say, before I get into that the persecution of the Jewish people has continued through the centuries. They have been a migrant people, immigrants moving from place to place because they were persecuted. I mentioned that part of my family genealogy is of a Patz family, P-A-T-Z, and they left Eastern Europe because they were being persecuted, fled to Spain, where in the 1500s, the Spanish Inquisition, they fled there and went to Germany, and then in the middle 1800s, the part of the family I know immigrated to the United States. So that's how they became, part of the lineage of Americans of my lineage. But and of course we know the stories of the Holocaust and the genocide, where half of the Jewish people were killed. And such a hard challenges they've had to endure, and yet they have had resiliency. They've had this ability to stay true to their faith. It wouldn't have been easy to essentially assimilate into being a Christian or a Muslim or any other religion of the land, so they wouldn't be persecuted, but they believed in being true to and part of it is this cultural held belief. And so when I compare the Jewish faith and our faith and what we can learn from them, the first thing I want to talk about is that they were vision-led. We believe in being vision-led. They were the first liberation faith, or at least the first one that was recorded in history. They sought to be free. And Moses was a reluctant hero when he was called by God to free the people. But basically God said, I will be your voice. And so he went and he stood up to the Pharaoh. He was able to finally, through a series of process, to lead the Jews out of slavery and back into the promised land. But the thing that kept him going was this guidance, was this belief, and that he would trust and surrender. Now the Jewish people had a practice, the way they would align with Spirit, the way they would be connected with Spirit was animal sacrifices. Now, we obviously don't do that anymore, but their intention, we still do. So their intention, when they gave of part of their abundance, part of their livestock and their agriculture, and gave it a certain percentage of it in order to align with Spirit, was letting go, was surrendering, was just allowing. Diana talked about the mitzvah. Am I saying that right? Where'd Diana go? The bathing. Oh, mikvah. mikvah. So that process of bathing, that later on, that became a ritual for the Jewish people of the communities like the Essene, where they have archaeological digs of it, that they had these bathing pools, which later became the baptism we know now. It's a cleansing process. We do the same thing through Native American rituals, sweat lodges, or just our writing a word on a piece of paper and letting it go, or just in our meditations, letting go, seeking to forgive those, seeking to let go of what no longer serves us. We've been at workshops where you do that. This is the same process of letting go, of giving, because it activates the law of circulation. It activates the giving and receiving. This process of by surrendering, we can allow Spirit to lead us and guide us in this way. So we do the same thing. We give opportunities each week as well as each year to give of your abundance. It can't be an obligation. That's not going to get the law of circulation going, but it's an opportunity to participate in the law of circulation. We give and we receive. That gets the flow going. If you're in a place where you're not able to give much, you can receive, and that gets this going too. It doesn't matter which starts, but it allows this process to go. And we do this so that we're opening up to Spirit in a new and better way, that we trust and surrender this way. I know each evening or each morning I start out, when I shower, I imagine it cleansing my body, being light that's streaming into my body and preparing me for the day, that I'm open and ready for Spirit to guide me. Each evening I wash my face, I splash water over my face. It's cleansing me of the day, of anything that I've held on to, and just prepares me for the next day, a cleansing process. Michelle and I recently put a down payment down on a hot tub. I'm not sure if the government's going to take my deduction for religious exemption for that. What do you think? Do you think they will? It's a baptizing, right? I don't know. I don't know if they're going to go for that or not. But it's still a process of that. We get in water and we cleanse ourselves. It's the same thing that the Essenes did, the Jewish communities did. We cleanse ourselves, and we allow ourselves to step into that which is. We accept what is, and we just let this Spirit guide us in this way. The second thing that the Jewish communities had that I think that relates to us and our prosperity and our abundance is a belief in oneness. At that time, there was a belief in polytheistic religions, where there were more than one God, a sun god, a moon god, a sky god, it depends on how you take that. I know in many Native American religions they have that, but as long as you see there's an overall Spirit that is one, and Native Americans do that, and the Jewish people did. They have no other gods before you was one of the commandments. And so they believed that God was always near and present. Wherever they did in their nomadic times, they always took an altar with them. An altar went with them so that they could sit and worship wherever they were. And now, Jewish people and us as a faith, we know that Spirit is with us wherever we are, that we don't need to take an altar. We have an inner sanctuary that guides us, and we can always turn within and experience that oneness, experience that we are one. It's kind of a paradox. We are separate because we're a unique individual. Our community is a unique individual, but we're no better than anybody else. But we know that Spirit is with us and guides us. And when we align ourselves, when we're letting go and allowing Spirit to come through us, we can allow this to be our connection, our deeper faith. And finally, the third way the Jewish community guides us towards prosperity is the way they prayed and worshiped in community. That when they pulled out their altar, when they had their sacred time, their Sabbath, they did it as a community. They prayed together. And I know that other faiths believe in this community too. One reason, I took a class during my ministerial school on Islam, and it was a blinding flash of awareness that I had is the reason they want to have areas where there's a Muslim majority is not about control and power, but it's about they would like to have it as a standard that a bell goes off and everybody knows it's time to pray. That there's a time together that they pull together and pray. And to me, this is one of the powers of our community, that we come together in prayer. We come together in deeper connection, that we trust Spirit right where we are. And that we're a reminder to each other that we are a light. Because what we see in each other reflects back to us in the light. That we see in them, we can also see in us. And I do believe that as we meditate and pray together, as we gather together in a service like this, and even online, there's an entrainment. There's a connecting bond that happens that allows us to have a deeper experience of the Spirit. Every time, I meditate daily, and I enjoy my meditations, but I tell you, whenever I'm with a group where two or more are gathered, right? I find my meditation goes deeper. I don't know if it's because I'm more intentional or it is an energy thing or what it is. I am not sure exactly, but I don't have to know what it is. My brain wants to figure it out, but it didn't have to. I just know that in a group there's something that happens where there's a deeper stillness, a deeper truth. And when I pray with the practitioners, we go deep. We know the truth of each person whom we're praying for. And so it is this that we are, as a community, believing in this truth that we are, believing in this power and presence that we are. And I'm so grateful for this community in so many ways as we step forward into this month of prosperity and life and abundance that we know. We also, this month, during the Prosperity Month, will have an opportunity, if you're interested, to fill out our pledge cards for 2022. It's hard to believe we're already moving into 2022. But that's just a way to participate in the law of circulation. So look for those to come in the mail this week. Mary probably needs to know that. We're sending those out this week, by the way. But that this is part of the process that we connect together, that we participate together in deepening the Spirit. Mother Teresa, who said, "I alone cannot change the world, but I can cast a stone across the waters to create many ripples." So we individually and collectively cast these stones, and we don't even know the influence we've had. I know this center alone has had influence on thousands of lives. And if you look at the way those ripples have come out, probably hundreds of thousands of lives. And that's just this one center. So we continue to affirm this history we have, affirm the good work we're doing. We can be proud of it. We don't have to think that we are a favored group, because we're all favored. We're all chosen. So allow yourself to be chosen today and be part of this community that is chosen. So many blessings. Let's go to prayer. What I know in this moment is Spirit is right here with us and always with us. Wherever we go, whatever we do, Spirit is there. So we celebrate that in this moment and in all moments. And so it is.
Wow. This song that we chose for after his talk is called Feel the Connection. We wrote this a long time ago. Feel the Connection. Help me out here, honey.
Somehow we knew we were coming to California and needed some salsa rhythms.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Oops. Okay. connection. When the ground will seek to meet your feet, feel the connection. When you feel complete, then our hearts will meet and dance to the only sound around. A million lights in a starry night, feel the connection. And the ocean raves with roaring waves, feel the connection. When you feel complete, then our hearts will meet and dance to the only sound around. When my mind weaves dreams of lemon leaves, I need connection.
When I plan and scheme, Piper's dream give me connection.
Oh, I'm letting go, I'm in the flow of the connection. When you feel complete, then our hearts will meet and dance to the only sound around.
You can just stay up there. So this time in our service, we'd like to, first of all, just welcome you if you happen to be here for the first time, but this is the first of the month. What does that mean? It means birthday. So if you have a birthday in November, how about October? A birthday in October or an anniversary in October, raise your hand. We got a birthday here, birthday, October, both of you. Anniversary. How many years? How many years?
15. No,
20.
Wait, what year
Seems
is that?
like just 5.
I have to do the math.
It's like
Which lifetime are you?
anybody else had anniversary? Oh, how many years? 11. It was a test, Brad. You passed. Anybody else? That's great. Well, we appreciate your birthdays. We appreciate anniversaries. And by the way, we have an anniversary here. 50 years, right? 50 years, right? And 60 years of study group. So we're celebrating that as well. You're looking at me like there's something else. No. Is that better? Okay. So we raise our hands in celebration of birthdays and anniversaries, including our own, and we say, get me started here. We bless you today, knowing that the peace and happiness you seek is also seeking you. We honor your inner radiance as you let your light shine in the world. We are grateful for your presence in our community, and so it is. So we also honor our children wherever they may be. We love them, and we raise our hand towards them, and we say, we love you, we care for you, and we're here for you. And stay around for the concert. This will be great today. We're going to have a little break, a little coffee. We'll have a few snacks if you didn't bring anything, just to keep your energy up. And we should do an offering. We should probably do that. I knew there was something. I don't have it in front of me, so thank you. So you think in October I'd remember about prosperity, right? So this is the time in our service when we have an opportunity to participate in the law of circulation, the law of letting go and opening up to Spirit in a greater way. So if you have given online, there's a number of ways to do that. Or you want to give here in person with a check, then there's a basket up here to put your offering in, and we appreciate that. And we appreciate all that you've given of your time, talent, and treasure. So we'll have a little gratitude song to consider not only giving, but also consider what it is that you need to let go of in order for more God to come through.
I just want to thank you for all you bring to me. I just want to thank you. Your love has set me free. Yeah. I just want to thank you for all you bring to me. I just want to thank you. Your love has set me free. I just want to thank you. For all you bring to me. I just want to thank you. Your love has set me free. I just want to thank you for all you bring to me. I just want to thank you. Your love has set me free. It's part of our old choir.
Thank you so much. So there's also a sign-up sheet for the celebration event on October 23rd. You can be a part of that. And then also do stay for the concert. It's just delight to have you here. So.
You rock our world.
And that's Karen who sang with us. So
Thank you, Karen.
If you haven't met her, you need to. She's a real great person.
All right, our final community affirmation. Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
I am led by Spirit.
I am led by Spirit.
I'm guided by wisdom.
I'm guided by wisdom.
I am protected by love.
I am protected by love.
I am here to be a blessing.
I'm here to be a blessing.
I am so grateful.
I'm so grateful.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Okay, we're ready. Okay, we're starting as we ended. No, wait, we're ending as we started. Yeah, I forget. Oh, yeah, we got a community.
There we go. Here we go.
Baby. We got a community. Yeah, come on up and dance. Yeah. I feel it. We are family. I got all my sisters and me. We are family. Yeah, to arrest me.
Our family. I got all my sisters and me.
Yeah, I got you, baby.
We are family.
Ooh,
Get up, everybody, and sing.
oh. You are beautiful.
And we know that within us, and we know it all around us, and so it is. Have a great day, and see you in a few minutes for the concert.